Good actors make it seem effortless, like anybody in the world can just get on screen and be an actor. But that's actually further from the truth. So today we're gonna be showing this by breaking down the acting in 1-star movies all the way up to 5-star movies based on Letterboxd. I'm Tristan Spohn, a professional actor that's appeared on Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Peacock on some of the following shows. And we're gonna start with Tommy Wiseu in The Room.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
I have a problem with Lisa.
It's kind of obvious why this isn't great. He clearly doesn't believe the words that he's saying. We need to feel like something is at stake, and he is just way too casual for it to feel like it actually matters that he is being accused of hitting Lisa.
I don't have to worry about that because Lisa is loyal to me.
Yeah, man, you never know. People are very strange these days. I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Like, that's such a weird, now obviously it's weird that he laughs at that, right? You'll have actors that don't actually listen to what the other person is saying and will just barrel through the script. He doesn't care about what the other person is saying. It's your cliche bullshit, now it's my line.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend, and I love Lisa so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you are very lucky.
Well, maybe you should have a girl, Mark.
Yeah.
Facially, he's doing fine, but vocally, I don't believe anything he says.
Well, what happened? Remember Betty? That's her name?
Betty?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see each other anymore. You know, she wasn't any good in bed. She was beautiful, but we had too many arguments.
That's too bad. My Lisa is great when I can get it.
Oh, man, I just can't figure women out.
I don't see any relationship behind the eyes. He's just like, oh yeah, women are either dumb or stupid or evil. He can have some type of substitution he can inject so he can still evoke the same intention without he himself having to hate women. So for me, it would be about reliving. So thinking about one of my exes and think about some of the things that she would do to try to manipulate me. Yeah, women, they're either dumb, stupid, or just straight evil. Where it's clear I'm reliving it instead of just saying it. So, all of that being said, let's now go to our 2-star performance of Gal Gadot in Justice League, the 2017 version.
Superman is dead. We all wish he weren't.
We don't know what state he's in. We know we can't bring him back, but this is science beyond our limits.
Technology is like any other power. Without reason, without heart, it destroys us.
I do think Ben Affleck is a phenomenal actor, but there's this really weird counterplay between him and Gal, where Ben is kind of trying a little bit too hard to sell the stakes. Like, he's getting very breathy and he's really emphasizing what he's saying, versus Gal is not trying at all to communicate the stakes. She's just saying it. And so we have this incongruent scene that doesn't really make us feel anything. It's almost impossible for the stakes to not be higher. You're literally talking about lives being destroyed, but it seems as though maybe Ben could be feeling like he needs to overcompensate for the lack of stakes that Gal is bringing.
We don't have time for a control group. Is it a risk? Yes, but it's necessary.
Why? Because of your guilt? Bruce, I was there.
In film, every single moment matters. Those sighs that don't add anything to the actual story are gonna take a toll. The sighs that work are the sighs that are there because we have this thing that we now have to digest, and it actually works to give the audience a little buffer point to digest what just happened. Other than that, to have a more cinematic sigh, you actually want the sigh to come out with the line. It could just be, why? Because of your guilt? Bruce, I was there. Where now the intensity of the sigh comes with the line, so you still get the impact without getting the pause, without getting the break.
Bruce, I was there. You didn't kill Superman.
She's also very stiff. It feels like she doesn't feel comfortable expressing herself with her body.
At some point, even you have to learn to move on.
Steve Trevor tell you that?
See, like now she has the action and now she has a little bit of movement. But in most movies and shows, you will almost never see two characters just standing and talking to each other. That's kind of what they're doing in this. They're just standing and talking to each other. Now, just to be clear, I'm not trying to roast actors in this video. There are so many factors that go into projects being made, so many creative forces behind. There are so many mistakes that can pile up on top of each other to make a movie ultimately not land. So it's not saying, oh, this human being is a terrible, atrocious actor. It's just giving an explanation of why the acting could have played a part in this project receiving a lower rating. Now let's move to our 3-star performance, which is not anything offensive, but not necessarily anything groundbreaking. We have Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock in The Lost City.
Oh, holy Christmas. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Do you think you could get me out of here?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a nail filer?
Yeah.
Can you just rip it?
It's working.
And maybe
It's working.
next time I toss a gun at you, you can catch it instead of ducking.
How about the next time you toss a gun and you say, hey, Alan, catch. And then, maybe do that before you throw.
They have what we didn't have at all in the scene before this, which is a very clear relationship and chemistry. Both of them feel like they're actually playing off of each other, whereas Ben and Gal, they felt like they were in 2 different scenes, versus both of them are perfectly capturing the tone. And we're only a minute in. They've had more things change in this scene than all of the Justice League scene or the room scene.
You say, here, I toss you a sweatshirt. You say, here, I toss you a pen.
How about just, hey, catch, gun. Anything that you want to throw and I'll catch it because you've said catch and I'll catch it because you've said it. That is also an option and then we would have a gun with us. That's the thing. Be careful.
Okay, we need to call. We need to call for help, get to the airport, and get out of here.
Why are her stakes 1,000,000% more clear when it's just, oh yeah, we need to get help and get to the airport, versus Justice League, oh yeah, millions of people will die. And yet she is way more on a mission than they are. Like, she clearly is actually connected to what is at stake here.
Okay, call for help. Where's your phone?
Big change. That's all we really needed from that scene. He made me laugh, and they did a great job with what they needed to do. So now we're gonna get to the super good, super spicy stuff with the 4-star performances in A Marriage Story.
You're being so much like your father.
Do not compare me to my father.
I didn't compare you to him. I said you were acting like him.
You're exactly like your mother. Everything you're complaining about her, you're doing.
How dare you compare my mothering to my mother? I may be like my father, but I am not like my mother.
You are!
I love how clear her relationship is to everybody that she's talking about. She's not just communicating her relationship to the person she's talking about. She's also communicating her relationship to the people being talked about.
When we would lie in bed together, sometimes I would look at you and see her and just feel so gross.
I felt repulsed when you touched me.
You're a slob. I made all the beds, closed all the cabinets, took care of you like an
makes me
infant.
want to peel my skin off.
You'll never be happy.
You see how much more fluid Adam's movements are than Ben and Gal's movements were in Justice League. He feels so much more comfortable in the space.
You think you found some better opposite guy than me, and in a few years, you rebel against him because you need to have your voice. But you don't want a voice, you just want to and complain about not having a voice.
I think about being married to you.
In some instances in all of the other scenes, it's more about their line where their delivery is more interesting than their reactions. But with Scarlett, I feel like her reactions are more interesting than her deliveries, which is a sign that you're more invested in the other person than you are yourself.
You stopped having sex with me in the last year. I never cheated on you.
That was cheating on me.
But there's so much I could have done. I was a director in my 20s who came from nothing and was suddenly on the cover of Time Out New York.
This is the perfect example of what I talked about earlier, where a scene needs to have both external and internal moments. You both have moments he's directing straight at her of you did this to me, and then he's having those moments where he's kind of reliving things that happened to him. So you have both the external and the internal arc to the scene. The external and the internal journey happening simultaneously.
But I'm in my 20s, and I didn't want to lose that too, and I kind of did. And you wanted so much, so fast. I didn't even want to get married. It. There's so much I didn't do.
Thanks for that.
Adam is actually threading the needle perfectly because he's not just yelling for the sake of yelling. It's clear that he's yelling because he has lost all hope and he's been holding all of this in for so long and he is now unleashing it. A lot of actors that do this scene really poorly just spend the whole time yelling at each other and it's just like surface level anger. There's nothing deeper beneath the surface. Versus Adam and Scarlett, there is this deeper meaning behind the words. They're not just saying exactly what they're thinking. There are other things going on beneath their surface that tie into the intent of what they're saying. And we're kind of getting to that here. The first part is just, I hate you, you hated me, blah, 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 blah. And now we're actually getting to the core of where it comes from.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I can guarantee Henry would be okay, I'd hope you would get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.
And this is why it's such a famous acting class scene. So many actors overdo this scene so much because this is the epitome of a scene that you end it and you're able to hit the intensity that every actor thinks signals great acting. Now again, Scarlett and Adam actually do this in a very strong manner. There's clear history there, and there's also clear subtext. And it's not just screaming to be loud, it's screaming from this sense of release. And see, Scarlett is letting him now affect her. She's actually taking his sobbing and letting it impact her and change her, which is something we've not really seen anybody else do. Okay, now finally, let's see our 5-star performance with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller in Whiplash.
Got Buddy Rich here. Little trouble there. Let's pick it up at 17.
Miles Teller, it's very subtle, but he let that completely change his disposition, where there have been multiple ways that establish JK's authority by how much he is respecting JK. This is kind of similar to one of my favorite Oscar Isaac quotes when he was being asked how he was such a believable father to Timothée Chalamet. And one thing he said that stuck with me is the only reason I was believable as Timothy's father was because of what he did. He treated me like his father, which makes you, the audience, believe it. And so whenever you have these positions of power, you can be as intimidating as you would like. It doesn't work if no one around you is intimidated.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
The tempo?
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
This is a master at intimidation and power. And the mistake a lot of people make with positions of power is they just go yelling too quickly. So the fact that he is committing a kind of violent act without raising his voice is what shows the power that he has in the scene, more than if he hurls it and he's like, "Why do you think I did that?" Going all drill sergeant on him. The fact he's so controlled in the violent act while having complete control vocally and physically over himself is what makes him feel powerful. And he's not feeling like he needs to do anything, but just study him.
I don't know.
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3.
And now he's losing that control. Going from controlled violence to then you start losing that control, that's what makes you afraid of what they're going to do next. He builds up to the power. Don't think I'm saying never yell if you want to be considered someone in power. It's to say don't yell because you think that is what makes you powerful. It works when it comes from the intention of control, or specifically losing control. And people in power know that their volume is a metric of their level of control, not a metric of how powerful they are.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference. Sight read measure 101. What are you, in a acapella group? Play the goddamn kit! Now answer my question. Were you rushing or were you dragging?
He's completely destroying him in every form of the word, yet he is completely still. And it's because JK knows, even though he is losing control of himself in this moment, the eyes are the thing that anchor the scene. And if you have too much extraneous movement, you dilute the power of your eyes. And so even though JK is going off on him, he's going off on him in a way that allows his eyes to still remain the primary focus of the scene.
I'm upset! You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a 9-year-old girl.
I love how unassuming he seemed in the beginning of this. Just like, oh yeah, cool, chill guy, getting the band together. He allowed himself to like have these very minor corrections and oh yeah, no, you're totally good, before then reaming him to shit. That contrast is what makes this side of him coming out so terrifying because of how unassuming the beginning was. A lot of actors would play this and they would start already aggressive where they're showing their cards too early because part of them might not trust that they can hit the zenith that they need to once they're starting to actually scream at him. So I love that JK hid his cards until the time it was ready to actually utilize them.
Say it louder! I'm upset! Carl.
The volume has a very specific intent in this. He's screaming with a purpose, whereas so much of Marriage Story was just loud, 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 loud. And so the fact that they were screaming started to kind of feel meaningless because of how constant it was. Versus this, again, the difference is what allows the screaming to really make the full impact that it can. I'm not saying that as a knock against Marriage Story. That's how arguments go, and specifically screaming matches. So I'm not saying that that was necessarily bad or anything like that. It was phenomenal acting. I'm just saying that that is what takes this to the next level. Go ahead and click the links below or scan the QR code if you would like more information on the acting lab. And if you want me to break down my own performance where I showed the quality I think it was in the role I'm most known for, check out this video where I react to myself with fellow Stranger Things actor Logan Riley Bruner to our scenes in Stranger Things 4.